Welcome to Mitford Pottery, a trimming video for your entertainment. And what we are going to trim are these. Turn that way so you can see a bit better. So we've thrown some, these are 1.5 kilograms of reclaimed school buff clay, sort of large open mouth jugs. So we got them to trim and some handles to apply. So to the wheel, I've got a light shiner, so hopefully I don't blind myself because it's a bit bright. So we got my second hand Giffen grip, which is not too bad, and it's great if you're a bit pushed for time. Now what I didn't have, which one we're going to do first? We're going to do that one first. Not a lot to trim on these fellas. I just need a couple of trim tools. That'll do us. That should do us. So we've got a wire loop trimming tool, and I do need a maker's mark. There, as always, not prepared for the video. Now let's have a look how we're doing. Are we in the picture? We'll go up a little bit. About there. That's it. In fact, we'll go a little bit higher because if it'll go, that's it. There we are. There. So maker's mark. So I've got my logo. And these are acrylic stamps. By no means affiliated, but if they want to, by all means get in touch. It's Stamp It UK. Very good quality stamps. So I don't know which one I'm going to use, the large or the small yet. Very good for us potters. Right. Now what I want to do, I just want to test the depth or the gauge of our base. I think I've tried to throw them quite thin, if memory serves us right. So just a rudimentary stick. I'm using sponge on a stick. Put it in the pot like that. Bring it over. Yeah, so that's quite not a lot to play with on the base. Did it deliberately because I got a nice swirl off the cut off wire. So all I want to do with these, I don't want to touch that edge. We used our rounding tool, so I'm just going to carve a little bit into there to make that more defined on that bit. Like I say, not an awful lot to do to these. And I know a lot of people like watching the trimming videos. So we'll see how centered we are. Not very. So the throw must have been a bit off, so we will persevere. It's probably because it's got the spout and it's a bit off centre. So to counteract that, we will get a little bit of clay. Yeah, I think that's just a bit tilting forward where the spout is. So we'll get a bit of soft clay. We'll just prop that up and see what that's like. Oh, that's better. That's better. A little bit more. That is much better. It's getting worse. Made it worse. What's going on? That'll do us. Like it says, not an awful lot of trim out of it. So because it's a large area, I'm going to put that on just to rest my finger on it. And what I'm going to do, because the camera's going the wrong way, that's it. We'll go that way so you can see what's going on. So I'm just going to start gently down here. I'm going to carve it into that. And I'll speak to you at the end. So I'm going to do 2 of these. There you are. So got a bit more creative with that one. Carved a little bit of the foot out. That's profile, so it's pretty weighty, which is what I like. So what we will do, I'll just have a quick tidy up, and then we'll put some handles on. So back in 1 second.
A few moments later.
Right, as if by magic, some more equipment has appeared. Which is water and a sponge, slip, a brush, and a pin tool. And a wheel. A whirler. So we will just alter the height of the camera a wee bit, like that. So I'll do this fella first. Now what I'm thinking, maker's mark, I'm going to put the handle on, and the maker's mark is going to go on the base of the handle. That's the plan anyway. That's the theory behind it. We need our handles. So we've got our handles there. Got our slip here. Got our brush. And we're ready to go. I got some clay. I'll probably put a thumb rest on as well, because I like my thumb rests. So to start with, we're going to go opposite our pouring lip, so the middle of that is there. So what I'm doing there, so that's where the middle of the pot is. I'm going to go about there. So we just rough that surface up with a pin tool. Now because the clay's relatively wet, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do like, we'll wait till we get to the attaching the bottom bit. I was going to say we'll do a fishtail, but I'm going to put a mark on it, so I might have to move that over a bit so you can see a bit better. Now we've got to pick a handle. So we got these, so these are pulled handles, and what we do, we just tap the top so we get a little edge of clear all the way around, which is what we're going to blend in to our pot. And then it's quite, it's probably on the soft side actually, so don't need a huge amount of slip, but we will put some on each surface. Get us in shot if that would help, like that. Now we've got to line it up whether we're going to go that. I think we'll go that away. So you try not to bend the handles too much as you apply. Hold it behind here because they're quite soft. Don't want to be forcing them too much because they'll go out of shape. And what I tend to do is I'll hold the handle and I'll do the sides and the underneath and the top if I can get it a little bit. So we're going to come back to the top bit. All we want it is so if I lift it up it doesn't fall off. And then, as Simon Leach teaches, we just let the handle sort of create its own shape. So that's sort of drooped as we tip it over. And then we've just got to make sure it is in line, which it is. So I'm going to go there. So I'm just going to stick it on. Now I don't need that bit of the handle, so that's going to get cut off out of the way. So we got that, and that's the bit that's going to get stuck on and a maker's mark put on it. So what I tend to do, I'll put my thumb next to it, move it to one side, score in there, give it a bit of slip, then I can move that back into position. Then I'll line it up, see where it looks like side on. So I think that doesn't look too bad, that actually. Then line it up. Is it in the middle? Is it centered? When you're happy with that, apply some pressure to that, like that, and that is enough to keep that handle on. Now what we're going to do, our maker's mark is going to fit in there, so I'm just going to rest it on here, line that up. I'm going to give it an extra press with my maker's mark. Oh, that's quite a good effect, that. So that comes out all like that. So now what I want to do, I want to go back to this bit and I want to blend the edges of the handle into the body and work our way around the top. So I found it's better you go from handle to body to get the initial grip like that. So try and get it not in the shadow, there you are, like that. And then when you get to that stage, a damp virgin on dry sponge, because it's a little bit abrasive, And then keep swapping hands, keep cleaning your sponge. Then it's a case of smooth any bits out. And what I tend to do, the underneath bit, wetted finger, go from handle to body to get that sweep round like that, to make it flow. Right, so that's the top is attached, that's good. Now the bottom, it's pretty well attached because of what we did there. And what I tend to do, just to tidy it up, again, a corner of a damp sponge, just to make it look a bit tidier. Just to tidy that slip up. Any finger marks around there where we've done. Then, if there's any gaps, what I tend to do, I'll just fill it up with a bit of slip. So I'm just applying slip into them gaps all the way around. Like that. Have a look. Get our sponge. Tidy it up, and that, as they say, is that. So there's our first one. Put him on there. And I'll do this one, but I'll speed it up, and I'll see yous, or I'll talk to yous at the end. Ooh, that nearly fell off. So we're going to do a similar one on this one. So enjoy a little bit of chill out music. There you have it. And what I think I might do, because it is a bit of my thing at the minute, we've got to go thumb rest. So we'll have some elongated thumb rests on these. So a little bit bigger than normal. About that size should do. Just rough it up. Bit of slip on. Slip on there. Gently apply some pressure. Make sure it's lined up. And wipe the excess off with our little dry sponge. And there you are, that's that one done. We'll give you a full overview in a minute. Do a little thumb rest on this one as well. So it's just the offcut of our handles because they're the same consistency. So I'm making them a little bit longer and slightly thinner at one end, more like a wedge than normal because they're a bit bigger than our mugs. Score the surface there, score the surface there, clip on both, turn them over, put them on, line it up, apply firm but even pressure, try not to deform our handle, make sure he's in the middle, get rid of the excess with a corner of our sponge. That's it. And there you have it. Right, I'll move this stuff out the way and we'll sum up. Oh, it's great having shelves and just chuck things out all over the place. I'll leave them on the board, bring them over. So there you have it. Two-handled jugs. Can we see them in the picture? There you are. So 1.5 kilos of reclaimed school buff clay, hand pulled handles, trimmed with a foot on both, maker's mark on the base of our handles on both of them, both similar but different. And there you go. So back to me for a while. There you go. Thanks for watching, and clears the way, and I'll see you in another video very soon, and I'll leave you with me jugs.